Oh, gentlemen, what is going on? Welcome to the Nerd Room's 2024 Box Office Fantasy Draft. We have got quite the evening planned out for you guys, and it's exciting because I got this feeling. It felt like pandemic times. Although we want to kind of erase some of that, these live streams is what kept us going throughout those. And today, when I was putting this together, I was upstairs with my wife, and we were kind of going through stuff, and I said, this feels like the old school live stream, which has me super amped for this. And guys, this is one of our peak live streams for the year because we're here drafting our teams, our slate of films for the 2024 Box Office Fantasy Draft. And as you can see, Carlos is already bowed out because he is scared of Team Rebel Scum.
The champion is not scared of anything.
Oh, there he is. There he is.
Oh my God!
Champion fears nothing.
Where's the
There
glove?
he is.
Incredible.
Three-time champion.
The
Fears
three-time
Incredible.
champ.
Thrice, he says.
The king has arrived.
That's
And
right.
whoo, look at that entrance, man. Look, we are going to go through our 2023 results. And as you can see, the king has arrived. He's always crowned himself the champion of the last 3 years, I believe.
Wow.
That's pretty wild. Pretty wild. Couple pandemic years inside of that. But last year was quite a feat, and he did it without one of his largest movies. So here, I've also got some breaking news. Breaking news, guys. Are you guys ready for the results of the 2023 Box Office Fantasy Bowl? You guys ready for it?
Yeah.
Then we'll do some introductions here. We'll get our teams going. But first, okay, I'm just going to throw it up here, guys. Okay, here we go. This is a little preview for tonight. But let's look at the results. And there's some breaking results here as of today. Zeddy, my friend, you have found your way into second place overall by $2 million. We're going to be doing a big recount, but it looks like this year, Carlos...
Y'all clown me. Y'all clown me.
I thought...
We did.
I'm going to be honest with you, Zeddy. I did think that you were going to lose the way I lost.
I didn't think so.
Clearly not. But here it is, guys. Carlos, you are officially a 3-time champion.
By 400 million.
And now we've got Zeddy in second place, the Carusos in third place, and myself not even breaking $1 billion. What an embarrassment. What an embarrassment. So there it is. This has no ramifications for right now for this year, but it does set a precedence for the 3 times champ in Carlos. And congratulations to Zeddy for squeaking out second place overall here. So, all right, let's get into 2024. First thing we're going to do a little bit of a round table. We're going to discuss what last year was. We're going to introduce ourselves. And I guess I should have started off by saying welcome to the entirety of the Nerd Room crew and the entirety of the Vigilante 1939 crew. Guys, welcome. We've got Nico, Zeddy, Mr. C, myself, Ian, and Carlos. We've got an ever-growing room full of nerds here ready to bet on the 2024 box office. But let's start off in the corner here. Nico, my friend, how are you doing tonight?
Man, I'm so hyped to be here. I was trying to tell y'all when we were waiting to start the show here is this show and this community. Man, I'll never forget it during COVID. It's what got us through it, and it's really what opened us up to a lot of connections, a lot of the great friends and you guys and your families and everything. So anytime we get to talk to you, it's like no time has passed, and so I'm so excited for this. Although I am reminded that we did not win, and I won't lie to you, last year at this point, we really thought we were in the driver's seat, and to actually technically finish third, I'm really motivated this year.
There it is, Ian, my friend. You are joining us for the first time. We've been doing this box office draft for, I can't even remember how many years we've been doing it for. But you are now teaming up with myself. So you have been saddled with literally the worst player in history of this just draft. How you feeling about being part of this, and also how you doing, my friend? It's tomorrow for you.
It is tomorrow, yeah. It's good. I had to relocate to my living room because there was some construction going on next door. But man, I've just been super excited about joining this. This is something I've been watching every single year. Something I've been, always looking forward to every year, and to actually be part of it this time is pretty insane. Like, I just can't wait to jump in. It's funny because I actually thought you'd invited me onto the team to kind of help you out, but you confessed to me yesterday that I'm just here for you to blame when you lose.
Yes, that's true. That's true, man. I need someone to point a finger at when I lose again. I don't even think I've ever placed second in all the years that we've been doing this. And I think one year we had only 3 people, and I still did not place second. So I'm having a rough time. So I'm hoping, Ian, that you're able to jump in here and give me a helping hand. Maybe my bias have been showing. They did last year. That's for sure. But Mr. C, how are you, my good friend? It's been a while. It's been a minute, but I'm glad to see you. You're looking well, my friend.
Oh, thank you very much. This is great. Like Nico said, it feels like we're home again.
Yes.
Miss you guys, even though we communicated on Twitter a little bit. I blame Nico, of course, because we were a team last year. It was maybe if I did it on my own,
It's quite possible.
might have been able to challenge Carlos a little bit. So, and I'll still blame Nico probably even today.
So
But I
it's
will
nice to have
say
someone
this,
to point a
though.
finger at.
I will say this though, 2023 was the death of the comic book movie,
Yes.
and I'll leave it at that.
Yeah, you can see that in my results, actually.
Yes.
Just like plain as and simple as day, that is inside of my result, the death of the comic book movie. But Zeddy, here's the man. I'm going to openly confess this. I did not think that your team, your slate, was very good. And it turns out I am a terrible judge of that, not only because of what I picked, because I also saw yours as a pretty weak team last year. But here we are, second place. You're back. You're teaming up with the champ. How you feeling, brother?
I'm feeling extra great now that I officially have claimed second place. Because might I add, without no comic book movie, might I add, which y'all clowned me on that wonky pick. There you go.
I should have traded
that
that Aquaman to you that you wanted.
What's funny is that if you had accepted like one of my 3 trades, you probably would have won, or you would have came in second. But no, I'm doing great. And you know what? Like I told Carlos, like the tagline is, if you can't beat them, join them.
And here we are. We have come to the champion. We've got him center stage here. He's looking
As you should be.
as you should be. He's looking pretty slick. Carlos, man, how you feeling about last year and then walking into 2024?
Feeling pretty good. When we did kind of that mid-year live stream, Nico kind of brought up the comparison of having Jordan and Pippen in my lineup, but for me, I think it's more apt if it's Michael and Janet that were holding it down with those records there. But yeah, it was, last year was just so much fun. Like we've done it for a few years now, and it was phenomenal last year. And there's so many interesting dynamics that fired up. So I revisited the live stream, and there was a moment where each of us clowned something that came back to absolutely bite us.
Yep.
Like Tim clowned the Hunger Games movie coming out, and it destroyed Captain or the Marvels.
All of my picks. The Flash, Aquaman.
I made fun of Cocaine Bear. It ate Shazam's lunch. And then Nico or Zeddy picks Oppenheimer, and Nico gives this look of astonishment, like, what are you doing? And Oppenheimer ends up being like second biggest movie of the year.
It's absolutely wild, man. Like it goes to show that this is somewhat of a crapshoot, but at the end of the day, the predictability of the audience has been difficult to gauge over the last couple of years. Coming out of the pandemic, nothing has been the same. And I think last year was like kind of the epitome of that. Carlos, he had some phenomenal picks in Barbie and Super Mario, but it was really the downfall of movies, I think, that really affected a lot of us. Mission Impossible didn't land.
Whoa. Don't remind me.
The Flash.
Yeah, don't please don't.
We needed that short king to come through, and he didn't come through for us.
King.
He did not. The Dune 2 got pushed.
Zeddy wanted to kill us. You know that, right? Zeddy was so mad at Nico and I.
Oh man,
we picked Mission Impossible.
I remember his face.
He went Ian. He went crazy. We almost.
I was about to start the Men of Steel 1938, man.
The Men of Steel 1938.
But like you look at this is the results of last year. These are all rounded numbers, so I'll have to do the first second here. But even things like John Wick and Creed 3 really stood out. Even The Little Mermaid pulling in that over $230 million did very, very well. So I think it was a lot of the sleepers and a lot of the things that we looked at and said, these are going to do very well, didn't really perform, with the exception of course, of Super Mario Brothers, which was kind of the big standout for the first overall picks. But like, look how far down Barbie was buried inside of this pick. It was picked in the second last round.
I know.
Like absolutely
that one
wild
hurts.
how far down that got buried into all of this. And even Wonka too. Wonka, solid pick. So at the end of the day, coming out of all this, I think that there's a lot to be said about some of these sleeper hits and the surefires. Like the comic book movies aren't in this year, really. There's a couple, and I'd be curious if any more than 2 get picked. But it's going to be interesting to see how this shakes out. And how we're going to do it this year, guys, very, very similar to last year. So I'm going to pop up the rules here. So just for everyone watching, everyone listening at home, we're going to kind of run through these. So this year we're going to do like a tag team turmoil. We've actually split out into 3 different teams here. My wife's chirping me in the chat, but we're splitting out to 3 different teams here. It's going to be myself and Ian as Team Rebel Scum. We've got the Carusos, who have been rebranded as the world's finest. And we've got Carlos and Zeddy, which now feels like an ultimate tag team up here. First and second place from 2023, teaming up as Team Beyond. I think that is a Batman Beyond reference. So we'll be each inside of those teams. Again, changing it up a little bit for this year. We'll be actually picking 6 films per team this year. We did 5 per team last year. The film must debut domestically inside of 2024 to be counted towards those winnings. And the winners will be determined by cumulative domestic box office total of all 6 of their films. The film's totals will be counted, and that also includes $2025 if in fact a film released in 2024 and extends into 2025, so a Christmas season film. And the reason that being and only necessary that we're counting the whole domestic run. We're going to be doing a draft style as we have done in the past. It will be linear, so 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And then we'll be snaking around, going 3, 3, 2, 1, and so on and so forth. That's just to allow and make sure that the first round overall, as well as the third pick, don't end up getting screwed here with the picks. And one of the amendments that we made last year, and hopefully we don't have to deal with this anymore, maybe we're outside of this pandemic and this pushing and strikes and all this kind of stuff, is that if a selected movie is shifted, so the release date is shifted outside of 2024, a replacement may be chosen, but the caveat there is that the tickets for that movie cannot be on sale. And that is just to prevent someone sitting and waiting and seeing how early ticket sales do, early predictions for box offices. And so that is the big caveat. The unfortunate piece would be if you did kind of drop out at the end of December, you lost, say, Dune or something like that again, you can only have 5 films. So that's kind of the basic rules. Any questions, comments, and concerns from everyone participating here? Everyone good? All good. All right, Zeddy, have we got our picks up from last year?
We do.
Yeah, you're ready to go. So how are we doing this? Who's number 1? Who's number 2? Who's number 3?
So I'm gonna draw it randomly in this cup right here. I will not see which number I'm picking. They are crumbled little pieces of paper right here.
Okay.
So I will give it a little shake, and then I guess we'll go that way.
Okay, but how do we know who's what number?
Because
Did
last year I had the names.
Last
you
year
had
the
the names?
names. Yeah.
Okay.
So we can just do it in reverse order. So
Okay.
the first number that Zeddy draws will be for Tim, then the second Crusoe's, and then Zeddy and I will be the last.
All right, here we go. So this first number, okay, yeah, that makes sense. Yes.
Yeah.
So
your
in
draft
reverse order
position.
here, so the draft. All right, so the number you pick out of here will be Team Rebel Scum's draft pick in the order. So here we go. All right, Zeddy, pull it out. Here we go.
right.
Here we go.
Man, it's like doing a lotto. Who's numero uno?
Oh, first pick
wow.
overall, 2 years in a row.
2 years
Did
in a
not
row.
help me. Did not help me last year. Okay, first overall, Team Rebel Scum. Here we go. Now, World's Finest. This will be your pick, and then that will automatically give Team Beyond the last pick there, or a pick. What do we got here? What do we got?
Number 3.
Number three. So to go right on the screen, Team Rebel Scum, Team Beyond, and the world's finest. So
I ripped it, but number 2.
Oh
That's
my
us.
god. Oh my god. I don't even know what we're gonna pick. Ian, okay. So what are we gonna do? What do we want to do? Like some sort of timer? We don't have to do a timer. So what do you think? What do you think, Ian? I have a movie in mind.
I mean, Madam Web's right there. Just just throwing it out there.
I mean, my first pick and your first pick is a little different.
I'll default to you. Do you want to take it? Do you
No,
want to take it?
no. I'm thinking.
There's
I'm gonna go with
dissertation already.
Your choice.
You're gonna go with Horse? All right. I made this mistake last year, but I am a man who just fails to learn, and I like to cheer for things that I love. So we're gonna take Deadpool 3.
Shocker.
Nice. Man.
Oh,
That's
are
why
they
I
on
got
the
the hoodie
phone?
I got the X-Men. I got the yellow.
Wow. What a crappy pick.
Take it away,
Nice one.
Z. Do the honors, buddy.
All right. Our first pick, at least on this team. People were told in 2019 not to go see this movie due to fear of violence. And while we can give you one reason for why we're going to pick this movie, I'm going to give you 2 reasons. And that is, if there's one thing that we can bet on, it's Joker and Harley Quinn. So we are choosing Joker for Leia.
Look at that. Okay, can I just point
Interesting.
something
Wow.
out here? Although our pick was probably predictable. We just got through saying the death of the comic book movies. 1, 2 are comic book movies.
Yeah, but you know what? My victory last year was powered by the girls and the gays, and they're all going to turn up for Gaga.
Yep.
So,
There you go,
Like-
baby.
like, honestly, that's factored in almost more than the comic book aspect of it, but
Yeah.
there's no denying, like, the Joker is a massive draw on his own, and
Huge.
Yep.
I think people got a lot of respect for that, so we'll get a bit of that comic book movie heat and some of that.
Dig it, man.
And
I'll take
I
it.
love the spot it's in too, so that also play a factor.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good spot. Good pick. All right,
Yeah.
world's finest, Crusoe's. I saw you guys chatting on the phone there.
Hey, we have process. So,
All right, come on.
in
I'm so
in
curious.
in so far two phenomenal choices. Hard to not go with those 2. However, those choices were to be expected, which is fair. There's a film coming out this year. The first film was huge. It came out about 7 years ago. And I think this is a film that really resonated with an older audience as much as it did for children. And I think the second one is going to hit very hard. We're going with Inside Out 2.
Ooh,
great pick.
Okay.
There you
Nice
go.
choice.
There you
Inside
go.
Out 2.
Animation.
Wait, we didn't take Craven?
Oh, you did. What?
Oh, that's what you were trying to say. Craven.
Sergey.
Craven.
Sergey.
I'm immensely curious about this film because Pixar's had a tough go at things, but this is a first sequel of a pretty beloved movie
Yeah.
that is coming out in a long time. A lot of the original Pixar stuff has struggled, but this one, out of what was the last sequel that Pixar put out? Like Toy Story 4 or 5, whatever it was.
Yeah,
And
I believe so.
Gangbusters. So, all right, Ian, my friend, the next one's on you. Where we had the same top 5.
Dude,
Dude, you got to pull your weight. I got to be able to blame you. You can
I
blame
just sent
me.
you a message. Put it away. You chose the easy one. What are you talking about?
What? I don't even remember what's on the list.
Man,
blinded by-
you guys are like the team that didn't want to be thrown together right now, man. Oof, man.
It's all
Like,
good. It's all good.
tag
Okay, you
team
got two. You
turmoil
got
right
two.
now.
I would say you got 2 in the relative animated space. So
Yeah.
What do you want to take here? What do you want to take? I'll leave it to you, man. This is
This
Come on,
is
you can read my
difficult.
mind.
There's 2 that are very close for me, and one is because of past movies, and the other is because of the time that it comes out. I'm gonna go with.
anticipation's kill me.
I'm gonna go with Despicable Me 4.
All right, there it is. I like having a high caliber animated movie here. That puts us
I'm
in
gonna
the
choose that
animation
because
game.
I think the minions have become very kind of iconic characters. I mean,
Yes.
the past movies have made over 1 billion worldwide. Rise of Gru did really well too. So I'm gonna go with Despicable Me 4.
There it is. There it is. Dig it, brother. I love it. All right. So remember, guys, this is how it's going. We've got 2 picks. We'll have 2 picks for Team Beyond, and then the World's Finest, the Caruso's here. We're gonna get 2 picks back to back, and that's gonna balance out kind of the spin around, and then we're gonna do the snake as we move into the 3rd round here. So, Team Beyond, away you go.
You know what? Zeddy and I have gone back and forth on this one a
Yeah.
little bit, but you know what? Arrakis was mine last year in the 2nd spot, and it's gonna be mine again
Yep.
for
Ooh,
2024. And to be honest, the thing that tipped it over the edge was watching all those screenings of the first Dune sell out in
Yeah.
less than an
Okay.
afternoon.
Okay.
So Dune Chapter 2 is gonna be our number 2 pick.
All right. I dig
Love
it. You know what? It was high on the list, and I did have visions of trying to snake that from you in a later round, but I respect it. I respect it. All right, Caruso's World's Finest. You've got a turnaround pick here, so you got 2 picks back to back here. You got to make this one count. They're on the phone. Oh, they've agreed. They've agreed to at least one of the 2 picks here.
Okay.
So we have 2 back to back, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
2 back.
3, 2, 2.
2.
2.
2 back to back. All right. So this is tough. So we talked back and forth about it. I have a feeling we're gonna catch some lightning in the bottle with a movie. This is a
Okay.
gamble. We texted about this earlier. Top Gun Maverick showed that sometimes you do a film years later, and with the right cast and crew, it does something. A lot of people love this first movie. Mr. Paul Mescal is on the rise. We're gonna go Gladiator 2.
Whoa, I
Oh.
like
Wow.
how
Gladiator
bold
2.
you're going.
It's a bold pick. Maybe it resonates. Maybe it gets the older an older crowd who loved the first one. It really resonated with them. Some awards attention. I think that is what comes next.
You got some big names in that movie too, so yeah. I
Big
think...
names in the movie. So there we go. Now for the next one, I'm a little torn. We were torn. I'm gonna go with something that's a safe bet. We get 6 movies, so I'm trying to go for. We're trying to go for okay. What can we just kind of stack together? Because in a year, it doesn't feel like there's going to be as many heavy hitters as there were last year. There might be with like the first 2 picks, but I think this is a year where if you can string together a lot. The first 2 of these films were very successful. I think this prequel could do some decent numbers. We're going to go with A Quiet Place Day 1.
Oh, I
Wow.
like.
Yeah.
Go with The
Wow.
Quiet Place Day 1. Horror movies usually perform pretty solid. And if not for COVID, the second one still did well during COVID, but I think in a non-COVID year, that second one would have been really big. I think the first one I think the prequel could bring a lot of intrigue, and I think that's a universe people enjoy. So
I dig it. You know, it's funny because last year the difference makers were the $150 to $180 million movies. Like outside of like the juggernauts, like those are the difference makers. Like the John Wick 3, the Creed 3, the ones that overperformed. It's very, very respectable. That day 1, The Quiet Place, John Krasinski, man, he's looking good on set. Mr. Fantastic.
You
Mr.
wish.
Spaghetti.
I do wish. I'm a big
Blue
fan of The Office. I don't think that movie's ever gonna come out. By the way, I think it's just gonna be the whole thing is we're gonna tease who's the cast for the rest of time, and just go from there.
We only know one person forever.
All right, yeah. All right, Team Beyond. Here we go.
All right, so
Third
this
pick.
one, got to be honest with you, a few different choices that Carlos and I weren't exactly anticipating. But you know what? Everything's falling exactly in our lap so far. Gotta say.
Love the confidence.
So this studio has been hit or miss, and while the one that I chose last year didn't quite perform to the level that I
here we
thought it
go.
was, if there's one thing that Carlos and I are willing to bet on, It is the circle of life.
Yes.
So we are going with Mufasa, the Lion King.
All right.
Damn.
All right, they snagged that one. I was wondering if it was gonna squeak through here, but again, dependable. I looked at the Little Mermaid. I said, no way. $240 million. Like that puts a huge dent in a film. Like compared to things that underperform, like you can't go wrong with it. And it's, to be honest with you, I'm a bit jealous because it's sitting in that Christmas space as well.
It is in that Christmas space, yeah.
It's gonna make a big difference. All right, we got to turn around here, Ian. We got to turn around here. I gotta go. I can't remember what the picks are. Do you want to do one? I'll do one.
You can do one. What are you gonna do?
Oh, okay. We gotta turn around here. So we do. There is a direction I want to go with this, and I'm second guessing myself on everything. I've got Carlos. I got those aviators looking at me, and he's staring a hole into my chest, and it makes me quite nervous right now. It's a glare. I think I can see the golden Spidey there in the background through the glare of those glasses, Carlos. And it's taunting me. Do I go here? Sorry, I'm just pulling up a little list here. I'm gonna have to go with something that hits home for my brother Ian. It is it's it's something that's feared in your homeland right now. And I'm going to go with Godzilla Kong on this one. And it's just going to do something different. I'm going to go a bit sideways. I'm going to pull that one out. Godzilla Kong.
Godzilla Kong. I think I don't know. I think Godzilla, I put it high on the list as well. I think there's a bit of Godzilla hype at the moment.
That's what I'm hoping for.
I think as well with the past one, it came out during COVID times, so it didn't really hit those numbers. But I think now, it's a big blockbuster movie. People like Godzilla. You got Kong with an Infinity Gauntlet, so
I'm hoping for a little sleeper hit on this one. All right, Ian. Where are you going with this next one? We got to turn around. What are you thinking?
Okay. Should I try something different this time? I'm gonna go with something a little different. I'm gonna take a risk.
I like it. I'm all about the risks.
I'm gonna pick this one mainly because my girlfriend's in it. Don't tell my wife. And yeah, I don't know. I think this one's gonna do better than I expect than people expect. So I'm gonna go with Beetlejuice 2.
Oh,
Shit.
That made me feel good.
Dang.
Nice snipe. I like that. Beetlejuice
Yeah,
2.
Jenna Ortega, man, like she's hot at the moment. I mean, you got some returning people. And
here's the deal, though. Michael Keaton is bad box office.
And Indiana Jones kind of said that you can't resurrect.
It's not
those old
1989
franchises.
Anymore, man.
That's true.
Oh, it will come through. Carlos, you had a bit of reaction there. Talk to me about that.
That one was, you know what? It was a bit lower on my list, but Zeddy took it straight to the penthouse for me. Like, and for the same reasons as Ian kind of mentioned, and then I was kind of reading up on it a bit, and there's a bit of sentiment saying that it might be this year's It.
Yeah.
So, depending on if it can catch some heat, or it could go the way Nick said, and people, it's just so
forget
long
about it.
done that
Yeah.
it doesn't make an impact. So we'll see. I'm like, for personal reasons, I hope it does really well. Like, my kid absolutely adores the original movie, loves Jenna Ortega, and I think it's kind of cool the way that they've set this one up with all the legacy that they have going on with it. So yeah,
that's a good one. I like it.
That's a good one. And
All right. Team Beyond.
well,
Smack dab in the middle here.
Take it away, Carlos.
Speaking of ladies with massive fan followings that
We talked
cause
about
people
this.
to swoon, this young lady causes lots of other young ladies to swoon. And keeping on my theme of girls and gays, we're going to go with Wicked Part 1.
Oh, you know what?
That
You
has a shot.
Who's in Wicked now? For refresh my memory.
Ariana Grande is the
Who's the
Or
bad
you can
witch?
say the thing, who isn't in Wicked Part 1?
that's
Who's the
Jeff
villain?
Goldblum's
Who's
in it, I
the-
think.
Is that with
Yeah,
Gal Gadot? No.
No, that's Snow White.
That's the Snow White.
No, that's Snow
Yeah.
White. That's Snow
Snow
White.
White.
Okay,
That's
yeah,
next
yeah.
year.
You can call dibs on it for 20.
Yeah, there you go.
25.
I'll give you that one for next year. I will not be taking that one.
Ooh, that's a good one. Carlos, my wife was just banging on. That was pretty low on my list, and she's like, that's got to come way up, way up. So I got to give her a shout out there because I'm gonna get in. I told you so later on.
Oh yeah. No, when we get together and I kind of make fun of you for Wicked
100%.
performing massively huge. Yeah.
Yeah. I tell you, I just
I like it.
It's gonna do it. It's gonna do it. Potential. We'll see. I'm starting to get intimidated here. I'm starting to get intimidated already. I don't know. All right, Crusoes, you got to turn around. 2 picks here.
2 picks.
All right.
That's it.
So
Good.
we're trying to go for the families here, and that's could be a risk, could be not. Actually, Dad, I might change my mind because the minute I said it out loud, I got annoyed. I'm scared. No. You know what?
You got 2. Don't worry about it.
I know we got 2. We're just at a point where, like, I was hoping some people would choose some of the ones on the list right now so that I wouldn't have to pick them.
Yeah.
And that didn't quite happen. We're going to go Kung Fu Panda 4.
All right.
Okay.
We're going to try to get the we're going to ride the wave this year of, like I said, straight the most consistent, like 100 million plus domestics that we can. All these have done that, so I have a feeling 4 will follow suit. It's also been a while since the 3rd one. You know, people might come back. There's a new generation of kids. Man, there's one I really want to pick, but I'm just so worried that it's not going to do well. But
Don't do it.
I think I'm going to do it because.
Okay.
She's never let me down before.
Who do we got here?
I know.
We're
who
gonna
you're
go
thinking.
with.
I know
Ian
where
knows.
I know where it's going.
And Carl.
Oh my god.
Oh yeah.
AJT?
Listen, if Ian's going for his girlfriend, I gotta go for mine. We're gonna go with ATJ. We're gonna go with Anya Taylor-Joy. We're gonna go with Furiosa.
Furiosa.
Wow.
We're
Nice.
gonna go with Furiosa.
You know
I
what?
felt the fury in that pick.
Yeah, literally to this
Wow.
day, like nobody in my house knows what her name is, but they all refer to her as Nico's girlfriend with 100% consistency.
She's it could do just enough to keep our number moving up.
Anya
Yeah,
Taylor Caruso. I dig it.
All right. I'm just kind of plotting this out here, guys. I'm going to get us up. I guess we'll go to the next team beyond here, and then we'll take a little pause and look at everyone's slate at this point. But it's looking, you know what? I think the big thing coming out of a lot of this is how crazy this year actually is. I think this is like a big turnaround year.
It's weird.
It's a very, and I think in the first time in like a decade since we've had, I'd say like clear blockbusters, like a clear, like you can argue some of these movies for sure. I'm not kind of putting any of these aside, but ultimately there's not like, and I think because of last year, there's no clear, this is what is going to work for audiences. I think there's probably indications of things that'll do better, but ultimately there's a big question mark this year. I was looking at our slate and I was like, oh shoot. And then I kind of I was like, it's quite variable. This is going to be a very, very interesting year. And even more interesting, I think, than last year, which is just going to be pretty cool. So we'll turn it over to Team Beyond to have a look here at what is this, your 5th pick?
Yeah. Our
Take it
5th
away,
one.
Brother Z.
We're keeping consistent with franchises here. And this is a very popular cartoon character, video game as well. We are going with the film that these two have actually gotten better, I would say, for a lot of people. We're going with some 4 quad appeal here, and we're going with Sonic the Hedgehog 3.
No, my boy Sonic.
Yeah.
I don't even know what's left on the board anymore. We've
You know
got
what? It's fitting because Flash Fact, Michael Jackson did the music for Sonic 3, the video game.
Yeah.
Did he really?
There's also a heavy rumor
Nice.
that a certain Jedi in Star Wars might be the voice of a character in that movie too.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah,
True.
Who's rumored
Hayden
for it?
Christensen, right?
Yeah.
He's gonna
Yeah.
be Shadow maybe.
Hayden Christensen. Yeah, that's
Mhm.
cool.
Look at Ian's heart just broke.
Yeah.
Exploded on the screen.
Sonic. I wanted Sonic on my list. I didn't think anyone would pick it, but
It's okay. Ian, it's okay. It's okay.
It is okay. What are you gonna go here with?
Look
Ian?
at this comment from Ginga Collects. I like it. I like it.
Where are we? Here we go. Open it up here.
It's like Space Jam, baby.
You know what?
With a goon squad.
Funny enough, the way that a lot of this stuff happens is like moments before. Like this whole team thing emerged last night at like 9:00 at night.
Right.
Like it was just like, oh, let's try something different this year, and here we are. And it's just the way it's just the way it happened.
Just ahead of the curve.
They are, yeah. So big shout out to everyone in the chat too. You
Yeah,
guys are
shout
having
out to
some
all you
fun.
guys.
You know,
Yeah,
it's
our boy
here's
Big J.
there's an interesting one. The slate reminds me of 2008, 2010. Interesting. Yeah, pre big comic book movie surge. Yeah, I'm digging that. So
That's a great point, Jake.
That is a great point.
yeah, I like this. Keep them coming. Okay, we got the turnaround here. This puts Ian and I's last two picks on the board. No clue what's left, but I'm gonna. Do you want to go first, Ian, or should I go first? Because I'm picking straight with my heart. Just so you know.
I'm gonna let you go first because I think my pick is gonna be something that you don't agree with.
I'm cool with that.
But I want you to go first. You go first.
I'm going straight. I'm all heart. I'm all heart, guys.
I know what you're gonna pick.
Do you not like it? Okay, maybe I won't do it.
No. Go for it. I want this movie to be successful, so I want you to pick it. So go for it.
Shit, now you made me question.
No, dude. Go for it.
Screw it. I'm going all heart. I'm picking Ghostbusters: Frozen Empire. All heart. I'm all heart. Leave something on the board. It's okay.
Nice.
That's for just for all my nerds out there. This
You know
will
what?
do.
I think it's got a
This will
chance
do.
that the first Afterlife kind of had like a quick to streaming jump, so it didn't do as well. I think this one has a better chance for sure.
Yeah,
And you got the
know
whole
what?
team
It's-
returning, and people know the whole team are returning. So
It's hilarious because I'm not a fan of Dead Space on live streams and podcasts, and I have had to fill a lot of dead space after my picks here, gentlemen. So I know that it's definitely all Tim picks here, all from the heart. Ian, our last pick inside of the 2024 box office fantasy
Okay.
draft. Let's hear it.
I'm gonna go with something that, again, it's another one that I'm not too excited about myself, but it is a character that I really liked and I grew up with. And I'm gonna go with something because it's kind of, it comes out at a time that another animated movie was very popular last year, which Carlos picked. And I'm wearing the orange. I'm going with
I know.
Garfield.
Oh, interesting. You're right. I wouldn't have agreed to that.
Nice.
I hope
We
it's
got
a
Chris Pratt
Mario.
returning. It comes out at the same time Mario did. It's animated.
I like the justification.
Old people know it. New people might be interested because it's a familiar character. So I'm taking a safe bet with.
I like it.
All right, I
like
dig it.
it.
All right, here it is, Carlos.
Well, just
Team
while
B.
my teammate gives me a preference, I will say Ian actually has a point because I was kind of looking, and the 2016 Ghostbusters Answer the Call and Afterlife, despite one seemingly getting loads of praise and the other one being very maligned, they made almost the exact same amount of money, like almost to the dollar. It's crazy.
Mhm.
About 150 something.
Yeah, like one was 153 and one was 156 or something. I looked at it a couple weeks ago, but yeah, it was almost the exact same amount of money. I was
Interesting.
surprised because you wouldn't have thought that would have been the case with
This one's
with the
gonna
disc
blow
wars.
up. It's gonna blow up, and everyone. No, you know what? It's a solid to me. It's a solid 150. Like I had several movies that did sub 100 or in and around 100. I need that 150, 175. If they could poke around there, it could maybe help get us over the hurdle of a few of these. But
Yeah, I think it will do better, and it has a fan base, and just the fact that it seems to channel that cartoon so much, it's almost
exactly.
what we've all wanted since that first movie.
Exactly. I'm pretty hyped about it. So, like I said, I play with Heart on this, and Heart has proven to not be a winning formula. But ultimately, let's hear what Team Beyond here, 1 and 2 from last year. What are you guys going to put on the board here? It's going to blow everyone away.
You know what? There's been a consistent theme tonight, starting with my coronation as the king of the box office pool. I got the jacket of the king of pop. We picked the Lion King, and now Zeddy and I are going to be entering the kingdom of the Planet of the Apes.
Ooh, nice. You know,
Yeah.
that was on the list. But will it? I guess the question for me, is it going to find an audience? I thought this was like straight to Disney Plus at one point.
Oh, I know.
And
I have no idea how this one's going to do.
It's going to be
but-
like, I love this franchise to no
Me too.
end. But I'm just curious where, and this is the first one without a heavy hand from Matt Reeves, correct?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
So it's going to be, it
Yeah.
is what's his name in it?
Caesar?
Caesar?
No,
Well,
just-
no,
No,
it's
it's set
Andy
like
Serkis?
300 years
no,
later.
the
or
guy
something.
that
Cornelius.
plays Caesar.
It's
What's
the
his name?
descendants of Caesar. Yeah.
What's the
I-
Andy Serkis?
I don't know if Andy's in it. I'm not sure.
Maybe.
No, 'cause it's
No,
like
I
it
don't
must
think
be
he's not.
set like 300 years later or something.
Yeah.
It's
I think
it's distant future.
there's this misnomer about the Planet of the Apes movies that they're these big box office successes. They're really not.
No.
I remember the third one underperforming from the second one, and I was shocked because we loved the third one so much. I really love that franchise.
Dude,
I love
that
1, 2,
movie's
3. I even love the
fucking
first one.
Phenomenal.
And
Yeah, right.
I was like,
Great
I
movie.
remember seeing that a couple times in the theater with Nick, and I took my wife. I remember just being like, wow, it just really, it didn't really hit. I was like, it's crazy. This one looks great though. I mean, it aesthetically, it looks phenomenal. And I mean, I would be hard pressed to not, if we had a chance to pick it, you know, but
It is.
I think
I
we
gotta
got something here that,
throw this up here. I guess gotta throw some shout outs to the comments here section here. We got the Bret Hart cosplay. I think you just explained the King of Pop. The king
I
of
will
the box
probably.
office.
You know what though? I there's no shame
King
in,
of Pop.
in the best there is,
Yeah.
the best there ever was,
the rest
best
there is.
ever will be.
Yes.
I think we got a genre, Nick, that
And,
we're
and,
gonna-
and even Shawn Michaels and Bret Hart eventually came together. Just know that, everybody.
Yeah, exactly. And you know what?
Took
The
decades,
pride
but
of Calgary, Alberta, Canada. So yeah.
One
think
was
this-
tired
this
of
comments,
losing.
this comment's there for you as well, Carlos. Unlike Michael Keaton, I think Bill Murray sells. I don't know if that's a bit
I don't-
facetious.
I don't think so.
Oh yeah,
Why
he's.
not?
he's
I think it
selling
might be a
himself
little
at the,
Groundhog Day moment
ad-
on that one.
Everyone, if you're familiar with the podcast, you'll know that Carlos has quite the love for Bill Murray and his ways.
I don't think old white guys sell anymore. I got to be honest with you. Now, I'm not talking about middle-aged white guys like Tom Cruise, but I think the old white guy is dead. It's. I don't think it works anymore. In the motion. Look at Harrison Ford, right?
Speaking of,
Well, I think we have to clarify.
Michael
Jerry,
Keaton with the
Jerry
crinkled up
Atkins-
Batman.
Jerry
I
Atkins.
like the Flash. I'm not ripping him, but
speaking of white men,
we've got
Here
a
we go.
young white man,
speaking of white men,
middle-aged white man. What
Last
would you say,
pick.
Nico?
my dad and I have just been. It's fitting that this is the last pick because him and I'm not kidding you, have been texting about this film since prior to the show today.
I think I know
And we
which one.
kept during this show, we kept going, no, wait on it, see if someone else takes it. And the fact that it's still here, it's like the stars are aligning.
I agree.
We've noticed a pattern in the last couple of years. The different taste of the audience is starting to come back. And we saw it in 2022 with the film called The Lost City with Channing Tatum and Sandra Bullock. This year we have the rom-com with Glenn Powell and Sydney Sweeney, Anyone But You, Crossing 100. We said, you know what? People are looking for that throwback action comedy.
This
Rom-com.
is sleeper hit. This is
Someone
sleeper
who's
hit number one.
riding with someone who's riding so hot after Barbie. We're going to go with the choice that we feel is sublime.
Your face is off
and
camera.
we're
Come
gonna
on.
go with the Fall Guy.
The
My
Fall
dad
Guy.
hasn't seen Barbie, so he doesn't know what reference that was, which is the same. We're gonna go with
Oh,
the Fall Guy.
that's
Ryan
okay.
Gosling. This could be his Tour de France, his massive box office hit after Barbie. I feel like there's been a Ryan Gosling sans since Barbie, and there's nothing that comes out prior to it since like the middle of March. So I think you're gonna get some like older people who go in looking for a good time. I think you're gonna have people who don't know what to see on a date night. They go to see this. The weather starts getting warmer, and
Or are we copying Carlos a little bit? Are
to
we
be-
copying his trend just a little bit here?
what's
Will
his
it be
trend?
Ken enough for you?
Just a little bit.
Well, Barbie was the greatest pick of all time because he
Yeah.
did what everyone was scared to do. Right? He
Yeah.
did what everyone was scared to do.
Yeah.
Everyone was like, "There's no way it's going to be that huge. There's just
Right.
no way," and then it was.
Mhm.
So we are kind of taking that logic, but I feel like it's the type of movie that I look at it and go, "Well, that's ridiculous." I said that about anyone but you, and people are talking about that movie. They're going out in droves, and I think Emily Blunt and Ryan Gosling coming off Oppenheimer and Barbie.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be a
100%.
movie people are into. And David Leitch did what's the one he just did that came out that was okay that I saw the trailer for 1,500 times
Bullet
with,
Train.
Was it?
with Brad
Bullet
Pitt?
Train.
Yes.
Oh my
Yeah,
God.
which
like-
was kind of a sleeper. Bullet Train.
If
right?
it does just that, once again, these little, all these movies sustained together, I think add up to a higher number. And Alan and Aaron Taylor Johnson's in this movie. Oh, we're good. There's so many hot guys in this.
I think
movie.
it's also
we're
getting like
good.
an early screening at like an events, like a
It is.
movie festival.
It-
So I
it
think
is.
again, like word of mouth
It's playing
is
South
going to
by
help. With that.
Southwest, and that's
Yeah.
a good sign because there's a couple of, not that it's going to be like this movie I'm about to name, but famously last year at South by Southwest, we saw the premiere of Everything Everywhere All at Once. And that was definitely a massive launch pad for it. So some couple months of hype for the Fall Guy. I think when it comes out, at least that first couple weekends, it might do something.
There we go. There we go.
I don't
Jacob
think I'll
here.
see it, but I hope it goes well.
Yeah.
They
Well,
do. They actually really do. This is a good point. Crazy Stupid Love is a great movie.
Yeah.
I think
yeah.
that's the number one sleeper hit, man. Like I even sent that to Tim. Like I was like, this is like there's something. I don't know. It was
Yeah.
just shouting out to me, man. I got a feeling like if that one does hit,
Something about it.
That's a big one.
Mhm.
Studios
Yeah, we
definitely
were
super
kicking
high
it
on
around
I
by us
saw
too. Yeah.
the studio's confident, and I remember I was seeing. I forgot what I saw on the trailer played in front of it, and the crowd was eating it up, and I'm like, okay, maybe this is what. I would like to make a correction. We had Furiosa, not Sonic 3.
Oh, so I got them backwards.
I
there.
just want to make sure
Yeah.
we flip those. I can't give Zeddy Anya. Come on, man.
We don't want Anya. It's okay. It's
He's
fine.
got everyone. He's
We
got
want
everyone.
We want those
Zeddy.
adorable pubs. We want Mufasa.
Whoops.
We don't
One,
want
I'm
Furiosa.
I'm surprised nobody. Wait, so when we're done, can we say some like honorable mention ones that?
Let's
didn't
do
get
it right
there?
now. Well, I'm getting this kind of
Yeah.
fixed in the
Yeah.
background here. Talk through some that didn't hit the list. I think I wrote out, how many did we have there? We had 18
18
films.
movies.
I
18.
think
What
I think I had 15 of the 18 went that or is it, no, 18 films? I think I had
18.
16
Yeah.
of the 18 I had up went.
What did we miss, Nick?
I'm surprised. No, not that we missed. There's just one on here that I think is going to be an easy like 100 million domestic that I'm surprised Zeddy didn't pick because one of his girlfriends is starring in a film later this year.
Ballerina.
No, I'm talking
Oh,
about Naomi Scott in Smile 2.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
right. I didn't even.
The
think about
first
that.
Smile
Right.
crossed 200 worldwide, did
Yeah.
100 domestic. That's
Yeah.
I feel like the horror sequels play pretty. Smile was pretty well regarded, so I feel like
Yeah.
the sequel is going to be bigger. That's one we
Mhm.
played around with towards the end there, but went with the Fall Guy.
It's just horror
And
domestic. Like yeah.
And I keep forgetting this one. Although I don't know if there's an audience for this anymore. I think I think the first three came out at the perfect time, and the prequels were done well enough at the time. There's an animated Lord of the Rings movie coming out in December.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
About
Yeah.
like Helm's Deep, like the first battle of Helm's Deep or whatever. I feel like that maybe you'll get a lot of people. Like I'm hyped for that. But like I don't know if people are into Lord of the Rings anymore. I wonder if shows like Game of Thrones and stuff have kind of changed what people expect from that fantasy genre.
I think because it's anime,
the fantasy
like,
TV shows don't do as much. Yeah.
What are the comic book ones that didn't get taken? Just Madam Web and Craven?
Venom
Venom
3, I
3.
guess.
Venom
nobody
3,
picked
that-
Venom
that-
3. Oh wow! Wait a second here, man.
So I
And
thought Venom
Twister.
3.
I think because it's still
Twister, there you
filming,
go.
so we don't know yet.
Yeah, Zeddy and I had like 2 pages of
Twister.
Yeah.
DMs.
That's
And we
another one. Twisters.
Good one, man.
Yeah,
Yeah, kept
Twisters.
pushing-
I
yeah.
I think
Twisters was
Ballerina
a
might
tough
do.
one.
Ballerina
Is
might
it
do all right,
Superman
man.
and Twister?
You got John Wick
Yeah, he
franchise,
is.
Anna de Armas. Like, I don't know,
John
man.
Wick
Like people love the
franchise,
John Wick.
Ballerina.
Yeah.
Wait, but
Nope.
so did someone say that Venom 3 might go? Like the
It's
Yeah,
still
Zeddy-
filming.
Yeah, Zeddy and I had Venom 3, like,
Yeah,
I think
we
from
were
our
ready to
third
pull on
pick
it.
every single
Mhm.
time, and just my confidence in it coming out was never.
and it's a late one too. Like if you lose that one, you're not going to get another film.
Yeah,
Yeah, right.
Right.
Yeah.
because there's
I think
only
that's
so
like in
many like at
November,
the end of
isn't
the
it?
year. Yeah, there's like
And
there's
like
only,
you're
yeah.
done. Like if you lose a movie in November,
I think that's one you just have to live with
Mhm.
if it comes out or
Well,
whatever.
that's what happened with me with Dune. It's just like,
Mhm.
well,
Yeah.
I guess I'll
Yeah.
take Wish because there's like nothing else. Like Hunger Games had sold tickets, so I couldn't
Mhm.
take that. And,
Yeah.
you did
um,
all right though. I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, Twisters is a tricky one because it comes out the week before Deadpool 3, which is what I pushed to Carlos, which is the only thing is I'm afraid it'll get buried a little bit, which is my
Yeah.
only hesitation on it because I want those ones that have like enough space to like get at least a few weeks in. That's what our
Yeah.
mindset was a little bit.
You know,
Yeah.
I want to throw this at the crew too. I'm just curious. Obviously, the first 2 picks are Deadpool and Joker 2.
Mhm.
I'm so down on the comic book movies.
I
that
don't think you. Yeah.
I don't think either of those movies are going to perform
I'll give
anywhere
you.
near as good as
Well, I
like
mean-
you know. What do you guys think? Really? I mean, you picked them, but I'm saying, what do you think? Really?
I think they're the 2 safest ones, to be honest.
I think it's
Really?
it. Like I
Yeah.
don't know, man. Like I was talking about this with Chris Evans from Gathering the Geeks as well, and with
Yeah.
Tim. Like I don't know. Like I don't know with Deadpool. Sometimes I feel like I don't know if I put myself in other people's shoes, that it might not do as well as I think. You
Yes,
know,
you're
maybe I'm
underestimating one
Wolverine.
thing. Who's rumored to be in that movie?
Yeah, that's true.
Taylor.
Yeah.
Boom.
Taylor. I know.
Boom.
And
That's
and,
true.
and
She's
Ryan Reynolds
money.
and
Yeah.
the-
Those first 2 were pretty huge, though, even without.
And I think that
Yeah.
this is going to
Even
play
without any
so
Marvel.
unlike a normal Marvel movie that it will draw. And there's all the rumors that Taylor Swift's going to be in it.
Yeah.
There's a
Also,
reason.
Yeah.
the,
only
also the
MCU
only
movie.
MCU movie
Yeah.
this year too.
Yeah.
That's the
Yeah, and
kicker.
it's, I don't even know
Like
how
if
much
you
it's gonna
want,
be
if you want to
branded
see an
an
MCU movie, you got to see this. Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Same
think
thing with
of the
DC.
2. There's a lot of reasons for Deadpool 3 to be huge, and I've been saying it too. But I think if you really wanted to like put a gun to my head and like argue which one is safer than the other, I'm still gonna pick Joker 2
Really?
because as much as like I'm still in this camp who like I do not consider it a comic book movie. I don't. And I think that first one was so intriguing to people. A lot of people like that first movie.
Well, the first movie for me, right? The crazy thing for me, Nico, is like I live in Japan, right? And like I don't see
Yeah.
people rushing to theaters to see foreign movies. Joker was insane. It was like a
I know.
freaking phenomenon.
Really?
People were rushing to cinemas. I teach
And
English students. Everybody was talking
Yeah.
about it. It was huge.
Wow.
And they like it. And I feel like the second wave of critics who didn't like it as much, it's kind of like Zeddy said, there was all that talk of like inciting violence or whatever.
Yeah.
When there's way more violent movies, I think a lot of people will tell you they really liked that movie or thought it was interesting. And I think you had Gaga, you had the musical. I think it's so different. You also get a lot of, here's the thing too. I think the group of people I'm about to name underestimated it the first time. There's a lot of like film Twitter people and like awards people. Now that it's considered like an awards film on top of it all, I feel like you'll get the people who wouldn't have seen it or who didn't see it the first time until the Oscars came out and people are like, oh my gosh, it's actually going to get 10, 11 nominations. I feel like it'll be one of these prestige level movies that people go see. And then on top of it, you get a lot of people going, oh, it's that Joker again. You got Gaga. I think the trailers are going to be mysterious.
Yeah.
For what it's worth, didn't House of Gucci end up doing okay, Zeddy?
Yeah,
It did like okay for
like
what
it
it's
did.
worth.
Yeah, I
It
mean, like
did-
his movies worldwide do okay, but like when you're looking at like domestic,
Yeah, I don't know.
that's the
I
key,
do
but
think
musical
I mean, like,
elements,
it
a
made
bit
almost
worrying.
200.
It depends.
His movies make almost 200 million, give or take. That's what his movies the past few years.
Who's
Gucci topped out at about 154, adjust for inflation, but so
domestic or
no, worldwide.
150 worldwide.
Yeah.
Well,
So in Napoleon, I think topped out around 200, but give or take. So I feel like Ridley was, and I even talked to Carlos about this. I feel like Ridley Scott's like hit or miss, so I just don't know.
well, he's
But it's a
definitely
good one-
lost
it's a
his
good one
juice
to
in
bet
the
on.
last.
It's a good one to bet on because so many people love that for his
Mhm.
Gladiator. So like, it's a good one to gamble on. Like I admit, like it's, but yeah.
Yeah.
All right,
the
we
other
got-
one
Isn't
that Zeddy
Pedro?
and
Is
I had-
Pedro Pascal in Gladiator? too?
Yeah, it's him and Denzel, so they got a good cast.
Yeah.
Paul Mescal was in Gladiator too, not Pedro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, has it changed?
No,
Is Pedro
no, it's
not in
all
it?
three of them.
They're all in it. Yeah, he's
Oh,
in
is
it too.
it? Is
All of
Pedro
them are in
Pascal
it.
Oh, okay. I didn't know
Yeah.
Pedro
He's in
Pascal
it,
was
yeah.
in it. Okay. So
Yeah.
yeah.
And I think Kyogen is too, or maybe he had
Kyogen's
to
in it
drop
as well.
out.
I
He
think
might
he's-
have had to drop out, but Kyogen was in it too. And after Saltburn, he's becoming and after his last scene in Saltburn, he's becoming quite the
Oh yeah.
No,
Joseph Quinn's in it from Stranger Things.
Kyogen had to drop out of Gladiator 2. He's not in it. That's okay.
All right.
Is Joseph Quinn Johnny Storm?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's
Wow.
what the rumor is. Carlos,
Yeah.
Carlos, you had something to say there.
Unconfirmed.
Well, I was gonna say, like, the other one that Zeddy and I had that was a potential sleeper for us was Bad Boys 4.
Yes.
Yeah.
But like, is that actually coming out?
Well, I haven't heard boo about it. And
I haven't
think
seen-
it
I
comes out,
thought-
like first half of the year.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
coming the first half of the year. That was one of the ones that was on my list that didn't get picked. And the thing that threw me off is like when I googled it, it was like, was Bad Boys 3 called Bad Boys 4 Life?
Yes.
Yes.
That feels, and then I was like, wait, did Bad Boys 4 already come out? Like that
Yeah,
feels like a Bad Boys
That's
4
what I thought
title.
sometimes. Yeah.
Then I got all confused about it. So,
Yeah.
we're gonna
I
push.
mean,
up
like, yeah. Unless the Super Bowl gives us like a whole bunch of trailers for half this stuff, I don't know. We'll see though.
it's gonna be
Yeah,
interesting
That
on
might
some
be
of
the
these
keys.
ones.
We might know in a few weeks.
Yes.
So what's the first movie that comes out?
The
Dune.
first
On
big
the
one,
slate?
I think
Dune,
it's
yeah, Dune
In
too.
this
Dune.
slate, it'll
I-
be in
Dune?
this
I think
slate.
I think it's us, June, because it's March 1st.
Yeah, Dune.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Dune's
That's
It's
up
going to
there.
be Dune, followed by at the end of the month we got
Frozen Empires in March.
Frozen
as well.
Empire.
3 movies come out in 2 weeks. So we got Ghostbusters. Then the following week is Godzilla vs Kong and Kung
Shit.
Fu Panda 4.
Okay.
Then there's nothing again till the Fall Guy for us. And
Yeah.
then Planet of the Apes is the week after the Fall Guy, but let's hope it strikes first.
Mhm.
And
Yeah,
Furiosa and I think Garfield are at the end of the month.
It's a little bit of a packed early slate here. It's gonna be interesting.
And then
Yeah.
Interesting. Is there? So we're gonna wrap this thing up here, guys. We've got our slates here. I just want to finish it up with a couple questions. So let's go, Zeddy. I'm gonna go look at this slate here. What you guys got? Is there a movie you wish you had out of the other two, out of Rebel Scum and World's Finest? This is something that was on there that you're like, damn, wish I had that.
Yeah, I mean, Carlos and I were, we were kicking it around, and like we were kind of hoping for Beetlejuice too, just because of that. We thought it was gonna have like an it factor. I think Jenna Ortega is like selling like crazy right now, so that's why I was kind of willing. And I love the Labor Day release because it's gonna be the one that kicks off the fall movie season, so I kind of pay attention to things like that. And honestly, yeah, we were kicking around the Fall Guy, to be honest with you, and we ended up just going with Planet of the Apes because we thought that it might just be a little bigger. But
Yeah, interesting.
other than that, everything looks pretty par for the course on our front, to be honest.
Ian,
like,
how you feeling? How you
Despicable
feeling?
Me.
Oh yeah.
Oh, sorry, go ahead,
I'm
Carlos.
feeling good.
Sorry,
Carlos, you want to
go
say
ahead.
something?
Well, I was gonna say like Despicable Me was kind of the only one that we
Yeah,
were hoping would
yeah.
kind of fall to us, but you know what?
Yeah, we were
Doom
hoping for
Chapter
at least one of
2's
those. Yeah,
Yeah, not a bad consolation prize. So
Nice.
we wanted something animated, like give or take. Like we were just hoping there was Despicable Me 4, Inside Out 2, or Mufasa, but I think we ended up going okay.
Awesome. All right, Ian, how you feel, man? First one in the bag. Looking at these other two others.
Yeah, I
is
mean,
there
I
anything
think
you're
we
regretting
got
here?
we got a good list. I think
Yeah.
we got a good list. I think like some of them, like there's a chance for them to blow up, especially something like Beetlejuice 2. We got a lot of animated stuff, which is pretty safe bets. So I think that's good. I mean, there are things that I would have liked, of course, Joker, of course. I think Mufasa, man. Let's think about Mufasa. I think
It's
that's
a 200
just
million
gonna...
plus lock. Like it's kind of what I look at. Just saying, like to me, it's a safe bet.
I think like the first movie made like 1.6 billion worldwide, and I mean it wasn't really well received. But I mean you got like a holiday family movie during the. I mean it's animated. It's characters that people love. So I think that's
It's a different story. It's not a retelling, which is interesting.
Mhm.
So, all right, Mr. C, you're looking at this slate here.
Dad, yeah. What do you
Yeah, I
think
mean,
about
What do you guys? What are you missing?
I would have liked to have Despicable 4. I'm not going to lie to you. I think that's a sure thing. I think that those movies do the Minion movies. They do unbelievable. And
Well, let me tell you why.
go ahead.
Let me tell you why I advocated for Inside Out 2.
Go ahead.
The Despicable Me movies do way more overseas.
Okay.
Inside Out 1 cleared Despicable 3 domestically by about 100 something million.
Okay.
It was
There you
like
go.
355 domestic,
Yeah.
about 850 worldwide. Despicable Me was about 250 domestic, about 750 worldwide. So I always look at the domestic number, but keep going, Dad. Sorry.
Yeah, and I mean the only other thing, I mean,
I just didn't want you to rip me for
No.
overruling you at the end there.
while I feel the comic book genre really is, tailing itself down, I do think there will be these exceptions. I always tell everybody.
Mhm.
And when you look at those two, and Tim reminding me about Taylor Swift being in Deadpool 3, I got to be honest with you. If I had to pick between the two of them, I would pick Deadpool 3 because I'll tell you what, she really moves the needle. I'm not this big, like I love the X-Men, but the X-Men movies were never these big juggernaut of movies either. Like there's this weird thing like that they were these huge like box office successes and they did well, but I do think that like Joker 2 might not, it could be weird if it's just a little bit weird or with the musical, or
Yeah.
it could be a little bit too where people are like, oh. So if I had to pick between the two of them, it would be Deadpool for sure.
Interesting. Well, it's all out there now, guys. We will have especially once we get into the movie season, we'll have updates going up on the Twitter feed, and we'll be watching this very closely because it was really, I guess, the first half of the year that seemed to really make a big impact on the pool last year. But this year, there's some big movies coming out in that Christmas time space and into October, November, December. So it's going to be hopefully right down to the wire. It's a lot of fun to watch. It's always a blast going through this and seeing and kind of watching just like the reactions. Everyone's like, oh, what an idiot. But here we will inevitably all have egg on our face at the end of the year. So again, a pleasure doing this with you guys. Vigilante, why don't you guys let everyone know where they can find yourselves and your podcast?
Was that
Any one of you?
I'm
Yeah.
Nick Russo Jr. Ready, take it.
No. Yeah, no, I'm on Twitter and Letterboxd at Nick on Nick. You guys can find us over at the Vigilante 1939. Just type the show, the name of the show, and you'll find it anywhere you listen to podcasts at.
Wicked, and you can find the Nerd Room at the NerdRM on Instagram, on this YouTube channel once in a while, and really every Thursdays you can find our podcast literally anywhere you can download podcasts talking all things Star Wars, Marvel, DC, as we have been for about 9 years now. So it's just a blast, guys. And we'd like to thank everyone that was in the comments that kind of hung out with us and watched this unfold in front of us. It's going to be another fun year. And I guess everyone, this will be in the feed, so thank you for listening. This may actually both in the Nerd Room and the Vigilante feed this week. Is going to be get kind of the dual thing. So anyone that's missed this will be able to hear it or have heard it inside of the podcast feed. So again, thank you guys so much for joining us on this evening, and it felt great being back at the live stream. It felt like old days. The excitement, the hype is there. And again, one last congratulations to our 3-time reigning champion.
Yeah, dude, Carlos.
Big props there. Let's see if we can dethrone him here. Worst case scenario, it's Carlos again.
Mom, I'm gonna be a winner, Mom. I'm gonna be a winner.
All right, guys, thanks a lot. I appreciate y'all. Enter the Nerd Room. We will talk to you in the not too distant future. See ya.